They started with nothing but dirt under their fingernails and a single, shared vision. Two brothers, Cale and Varen. They didn't inherit a kingdom, they built it. Cale had the mind for trade, understanding the flow of gold and the desires of men. Varen had the spirit of a commander, building the walls and securing the roads. Together they were a fortress. Where one was weak, the other was an iron wall. Within 10 years, their small trading camp had swallowed the valley. It became the greatest merchant empire of the East. Kings who once mocked their torn clothes now borrowed their gold. They were untouchable. Not because of their massive armies and not because of their endless vaults, but because their trust was absolute. But the world does not tolerate an unbreakable thing for long. If an empire cannot be battered down from the outside, it must be dissolved from within. Enter the emissary. He arrived from a rival foreign power. He did not bring siege engines, catapults, or an army of thousands. He brought silk robes, chests of exotic spices, and a soft, calculating voice. He requested to negotiate a massive trade partnership, but he insisted on speaking to the brothers, individually. First, the emissary sat with Cale, the financier. He praised his genius, his vision. Then, with a sigh of fake sympathy, he whispered, "It is a tragedy, Cale. The surrounding kingdoms believe Varen is the true king. They think you are merely his coin counter. He takes the glory for the empire your mind built." The next evening, the emissary sat with Varen, the commander. He praised his strength, his discipline. Then he whispered, "Your men bleed for this city, Varen. Yet Cale hoards the wealth. He sits in his soft chair, controlling your rations. Does he think you are a partner or just a hired sword?" The emissary left the city a week later, having signed no treaties. He didn't need to. He had planted the seed. At first it was subtle. Cale began keeping a secret ledger, hiding a fraction of the taxes. Varen noticed the missing coin and quietly ordered his personal guard to stop reporting their movements to Cale. Paranoia is a slow poison. It turns partners into competitors. They stopped eating at the same table. They divided the city's treasury. Finally, in a fit of pride, they split the army in half to protect themselves from each other. The moment the empire was divided, the foreign army marched. There was no grand battle. There was no heroic final stand. The enemy walked through gates that were left unguarded because Varen's men and Cale's men were too busy watching one another. The greatest merchant empire of the East fell in a single night. Years later, exiled and stripped of his titles, Varen sat in the ashes of what used to be his throne room. He finally understood the tragedy. The enemy's swords had not defeated them. The enemy's gold had not bought them. The enemy simply understood human nature. They built walls to keep out armies, but they had left their minds completely unguarded.
Based on what I learned from the story, some of them were brothers, they were blood brothers. They grew up together through pain and suffering, and they became successful together. So disunity became a weapon to destroy them and destroy all that they have achieved. As a lesson, based on my own analogy, is that when the brothers heard what the emissary said, if at least one of them, maybe the younger brother or the elder brother, was patient and did his own investigations, it will find out the root of the matter, will know if it's truth or false. But they were not patient. Another thing I want to say is what relationship. Yes, a relationship. The foundation of a relationship is trust. Without trust, the relationship cannot stand. For example, a house with a weak foundation will collapse. It might not be because the elder brother or the younger brother did not trust themselves. Yes, the influence the emissary have made on them might have shaken their trust and started making them to keep things for themselves, which lead towards that separation. Yes, if you are in a relationship, always be honest and trust your partner that you guys are in a relationship with. And if you start suspecting a person you are in a relationship with, just dissolve that relationship, because that is not my relationship. Yes, just dissolve it rather than ruining everything. Just dissolve it, and always be honest. Even if the person you are in a relationship with will betray you, just know that you uphold the main integrity of a relationship, which is what? Trust. And you will know that you are clean. It is the person who betrayed you. If you know you can't trust somebody, don't even bother getting relationship with them, because you are just deceiving yourself. So, and even if we trust somebody and the person betrays us in a relationship, it will actually make us to be more careful in the future. Yes, so one won't fall for that anymore. I said that yes, trust is the foundation of a relationship. I didn't say not to be careful. You have to work careful in a relationship too. And in that case, if anybody comes to tell you unpleasant thing about the person you are in relationship with, maybe in order to separate you guys or anything, just what? Calm down and do your investigations. Anything anyone says to you always have influence. It might be little, it might be big. That is just it. Always have an influence in what we are thinking. That is just how life works. So we should be guided. Thank you.